Hello everybody, my name is Michael, and let us continue playing Dark Souls 1. Today I'm going to go down into the depths of Blighttown, and I have upgraded my Great Scythe to +10. I've had to rearrange my armor a little bit. This is actually the Sorcerer boots, but I'm still using the Boulder Shield. I got my bow, I've got my pyromancy flame, and I'm ready to head down there and kick ass with my rusted iron ring that will enable us to more easily move the water down there. Now, the reason I'm going down here after weighing my options for where to go next is because there's some cool armor down there, because I'm actually kind of getting a little sick of the black leather armor. It's kind of beginning to annoy me. Even though I do like it, and I do think it looks better in Dark Souls 2, of course, with that sexy cloth physics, but I just want some new armor. Now, the more traditional way to go into Blighttown is the way I went originally. The stupid way is through the depths. If you go down through the depths and defeat the boss there, you can get a key that will lead you to the upper area of Blighttown. Blighttown is a gigantic area. It is one of the most vertical areas in the game, if you've heard the term verticality to refer to the levels of Dark Souls. And it is one of the most difficult areas in the entire game, especially early on, because it is enormous, it is confusing, the enemies are very tough, there is a lot of complicated enemies related to poison that you have to take care of, and toxic, and the whole thing is just a whole bunch of no fun. We will be going to that upper area later on, but not just yet. At the moment, we are going to continue on through the lower section of Blighttown. This is the real way you should enter Blighttown, through the Valley of Drakes, if you don't have the Master Key. Or if you have the Master Key, just come from Firelink Shrine and over there. I like how that wall there seems to be sort of built into the rock, like they carved it out of the rock there. That looks really, really cool. Now let us head over here and begin. This is a good place to come early on, because there are actually some really good strength weapons that you can get very quickly in this game. You can actually get some strength weapons really fast by coming down here. Although for Dex characters it's not really very much. And that is the first enemy that we're going to encounter in this game, the Barbarian, I think is his name. I thought he was sort of an ogre when I first came in here, but I think they're actually called Barbarians or Hollow Barbarians. They have an enormous amount of, well, fatty tissue it looks like, but an enormous amount of health. Even that parry, that enormous parry with this tough weapon, did not really faze him very much, and it took 2 R1s afterwards to take him down. They are very strong, really, really good fighters, although usually these 3 you can just run past if you're coming in. The way down into Blighttown involves meandering along a vertical stretch of tiny wooden platforms in this area, and you can run from the top to the bottom if you know exactly what ladders to go down, where to fall off, where to go, where to move. However, since we're going to the slow way, I'm not going to do that because I want to kind of show you exactly where to go. That weapon that they have there, the large club, is a great, great strength weapon. Highly recommended if you're going as a strength character. It's one of the best strength weapons in the game. Now, we just picked up a rather comical item that these guys drop pretty frequently called the Dung Pie. And it's just a mound of poop. Atrocious fecal waste material. Wonderful. I hate having this in my pack. It's like in my inventory. I don't like that. What it does, though, and it can be very useful, is that it will turn an enemy toxic, which will kill them very quickly, but it'll also turn you toxic. So in order to use it, you have to use the toxic and then use the healing item on yourself very quickly and remove the toxic from yourself. Where are you? There's a third one over here. There is another strength weapon called the Great Club down here. But I think the large club might actually be better. These guys can be backstabbed too, by the way. Their clubs there do poison damage, which doesn't make a tremendous amount of sense to me because, you know, how can a club, you know, do poison damage? But I guess if it's like, you know, remember their fecal material contains some sort of toxic properties, so they must just spend all day shoving those clubs up their ass and then, you know, coating them with the toxic fecal waste. Now let us head over here. And one of the most annoying things about Blighttown is that there are mosquitoes here. It is a swamp, and there are giant cat-sized mosquitoes that respawn infinitely, and you can't kill them. And I don't just mean if you rested a bonfire, I mean they will constantly come at you, and if you kill them, they're just going to respawn where they started and come at you again. There is a key here that I am not clear on the purpose of. I will have to look this up, but I don't think I ever found a purpose to that key. I don't remember using a key like that in the New Londo ruins. There are also these, okay, he's on the next floor, alright. He must be down here. These insect guys, I'm not exactly sure what they are, but they breathe fire. They're also very slow and not very bright, and they can sort of, they can't fly exactly, but they can sort of hover for a few feet. Let us head down here. There's also a very dangerous enemy that is coming up that can infect us with toxic, and I hope I do not die to it. This is another reason why you have to have a bow. It's because you can take these mosquitoes out easily. It is good to take them out to, you know, give yourself a little breathing room every now and again. And I usually just jump down here because it's too dangerous to stand near that guy over there. I'm not actually going to go over there where that toxic guy is because he's too dangerous, and because of the item that he is guarding back there, which is another Firekeeper soul to upgrade the Estus Flask, I don't want to get just yet. I would prefer not to. Let's kill this guy before, hopefully, he starts using his fire. And this is a great place to come early on if you are a sorcery character, because you can get... Please don't fall, please don't fall, please don't fall. Oh, and that guy was trying to toxic me up. Because you can get a really, really cool armor set and weapon. Let's pop over here. There we go. It's the Tin Banishment Catalyst is one of the coolest catalysts, because the catalysts in this game, the things you use to cast sorceries, they really look more like wands. You know, it's more like a Harry Potter than a Gandalf kind of thing. And the mosquitoes poison you too, I forgot to mention. Except for the Tin Banishment Catalyst, or I think that's the name of the thing we just picked up. That thing actually looks a lot more like a proper staff for a wizard, and it can actually be used as a thrusting weapon to jab out at enemies, and I think maybe you can use it from behind a shield, now that I think about it. But it's just an all-around great starting weapon for a sorcerer. This can be confusing to people that you have to land on this thing and follow it down and getting the timing right, but I've done it so many times that I pretty much know it by heart now. And you're out of the woods when you land right on here. You're finally in the swamp proper, Blighttown proper down here. And there is a bonfire very conveniently nearby, which I will rest at. Oh my goodness. Oh Lord, the other one fell down on him, I guess. Is that what happened? That's weird. Alright. I've already been down here before to farm some things earlier on off camera, so this is already lit. If we just head back here, not exactly sure what this is supposed to be. A sewer or something, maybe? Can't quite tell. But over here there is a dragon scale. There are certain weapons in the game that are related to the dragons, and you can only upgrade them with dragon scales, and it costs about 10,000 souls plus a dragon scale in order to upgrade it. So that you're talking, if you want to get it all the way up, you're talking 50,000 souls. And there is an NPC invader in this area, and I'm just going to bring them along by turning human. You can only be invaded in the game. That is, an enemy can only turn into a red spirit and attack you if you are in human form. So I mentioned this in another episode. You are granting yourself the ability to hire other people that put their soul signs on the ground, but you're also risking death by people trying to attack you. Whoops-a-daisy. Just a skosh unfamiliar with this one. There she is, Man-Eater Mildred. Man-Eater Mildred is a pretty easy holo. She's sort of a joke. She's a reference to an NPC invader, or the equivalent of an invader, in Demon Souls, who was brutally, brutally difficult. However, Mildred is nothing of the sort. She is very easy. She is obviously nude, although these mosquitoes might prove a problem. And she can be parried very easily, by the way. It is advantageous if you are a strength character to pop down here very early on, if you want to, because not only can you defeat her easily, but she drops a weapon, the Butcher Knife. And the Butcher Knife looks like... Where are you, Butcher Knife? It looks like the weapon those horrible cannibal women were using in the depths. And it's got fairly, I mean, it's like 24, not even 20. I thought it was 28. It's 24 required strength, B bonus in parameter that'll get up to an A eventually. All around an excellent starting weapon for a strength character. And this is the Tin Banishment Catalyst. Can I strike? Oh, no, I can't. I thought I could strike from behind a shield with it, but it's sort of like a spear-length weapon. So that can be very useful for you. I'm just going to sit here and restore my Estus flasks. Sorry, I had to edit out a bit of a sneezing thing there. The allergies are really hitting me hard. Alright, let's take a look here. Strength up a little bit. Okay. I want to use the Claymore eventually. Alright, now we're going to explore the bottom area of Blighttown now, but let's just take a look down here at first. The swamp is icky, disgusting, brownish liquid. It looks like poo water. I love the lily pads on it that you really only notice if you look down like this. It just looks amazing. And if you look up, this is actually a place you can see Firelink Shrine from, way up there. That's actually Firelink Shrine. You can't quite get a good look at it there. Let me try again. That's Firelink Shrine up there, that tree. Remember the huge tree in Firelink Shrine? That's way up there. That's where that is. And I honestly didn't even notice it when I first came down. It was later on when I was farming that I looked up, you know, and I noticed it. I was like, oh my god, look at this. That's so cool. But I just also want to show you what it's like walking in this mud without the rusted iron ring. Look at this. That's running. And that's walking. You can roll, however. This is something that I believe they got wrong in Demon Souls. In Demon Souls, there was an area like this, but you could not only could you not run effectively, you had no ability to roll. I'm going to repeat that. Rolling, this thing that is essential to playing Dark Souls, you could not do. I can't imagine why they thought that was a good idea. And by the way, you also notice when your poison builds up here with that purple bar. In Demon Souls in the Valley of Defilement, you don't know when it's coming up. It just happens automatically and you don't see it. And that's really annoying. There's some really cool items we can get here, but there are a ton of these bug guys running around here, and they have a real hard-on for you, and they're coming to... Oh, they're coming to get me. Fuck. Oops-a-daisy. The flame they use is kind of like a whip. It kind of like licks out like a tongue of flame. They're not tough, it's just there's so much going on, you know? And of course the mosquitoes are a nuisance, but, I mean, what are mosquitoes but a nuisance? The armor that I want is up here, but also someone that can make me toxic is up here. So I am very worried about that. And there he is. He got me. Fortunately, look how fast my health is going down. Fortunately, I have a cure for toxic, but just one. I hit B too many times there and very nearly fell off the edge. I may just have to run back to the bonfire after getting this stuff and killing this guy, because thankfully it does... There we go. This guy here will not respawn. And that kills me every time. No, not the toxic. What really kills me? The fact that you do not get the frickin', oh, God damn it. The fact that you do not get the health item that cures toxic. You get the health item that cures poison, but not the one that cures toxic. That's frickin' bullshit. That is bullshit. When you kill him, if you're getting anything, you should get the thing that frickin' cures toxic, not the one that cures poison. And now I'm poisoned and toxic. Fortunately, we're not going to have to go back up to that area. I could continue going up to the upper part of Blighttown, but I'm going to go to that section when I go from top to bottom. It's much easier than going from bottom to top. And the item and the set that we got is the Wanderer set. I don't think we have the stats to wear it just yet in all of our stuff, but it looks really, really cool. So I'm going to wear that later, though, not right now. Now, I'm going to continue exploring this area. It's great to come down here with the Master Key right at the beginning of the game, because you can grab, I think I got a Soul of a Proud Knight there, or a Soul of a Brave, a large Soul of a Proud Knight, something. That can give you several thousand souls, and at the very beginning of the game, that's really useful. I'm going to go back past these guys and turn around. This is another enemy of this area, one of the most useful enemies in the game, a giant leech. It looks kind of like a slug. I almost said a giant slug, but it is a leech. It has sort of a lamprey-like sucker mouth on it. This prick is intruding on my fucking life, and he needs to die. There we go. And these fucking mosquitoes. Another big problem with this is the frame rate. They fucked up the frame rate in Blighttown so badly. Especially because there's all of this stuff going on. And I bet your ass that if you got rid of those fucking respawning mosquitoes, that would do something about it. Now, these leeches are incredibly useful because they are frequent droppers of large titanite shards. And I mentioned a couple times that I did some farming, and I got a couple dozen of these way down here, these large titanite shards from this area. And they are dropped so frequently that even without any additions to my item discovery rate, and it's actually fairly high now, it's at 192 because I have 7 humanity, instead of the standard 100 that you get without any humanity. But even without that, you get tons of these large titanite shards, and they also drop green titanite shards, in fact 5 of them apiece, which is crazy that you get 5 of those. I actually have 62 green titanite shards right now, because I was down here farming so much, because I wanted to show you guys a variety of weapons while doing this. I haven't gotten any drops yet, but trust me, you can get tons down here. I avoided getting the items so I can show me getting them. Now these leeches can sometimes be annoying because they can kind of jump out at you, and they do have an attack that sprays damage out at you. And you have to fight them in the poison lake, and there's usually a bunch of them. And when you hit them, if they bounce off your shield, they can sort of, like, bounce backwards off of you, which is a little bit annoying. Because they can sort of, like, fall a little bit past where you can reach them. But that doesn't matter that much, because there's a good bonfire nearby. You can get the rusted iron ring pretty early, and get as much large titanite shards as you can get to your heart's content. You actually get a few dropped large titanite shards here, just as items to pick up off the ground. Although this one is not that. This one is actually, there's the large titanite shard, a fairly bizarre weapon called the Server, which is, as far as I can tell, a bit of a joke. I have meant a number of times in my playthroughs of this game to use the Server but I could never get around to it. It is a curved greatsword, which is an odd class of weapon like the Gravelord sword, because what it means is that you have to have a fair amount of strength to wield it, but you only actually get scaling based on dexterity. So you have to have like a mix of skills in order to use it, and it looks like a weird hook, almost a little bit like a bill hook at the end, but not with this long blade. I don't know if this is based on a historical weapon or not, but it just looks sort of odd. And yeah, it does have a cool description, a curved greatsword used in a mysterious ancient rite, imbued with a frightful occult energy which restores HP with each hit. That HP restoration is not terribly good, by the way. It is also an occult weapon, I believe. It has the occult property. Let me take a look here. Which means... Oh no, it's not an occult weapon. Okay, I can save that talk for another time. There's also a bunch over here, so I think I've counted 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11... Is it 12 or 13? It might be 12 or more of these leech guys in this area, so that's really an impressive number of chances you have to get large titanite shards. And I was able to get, with just a couple of hours of farming here and there, you know, like, I don't know, dozens of them. And that's without the magic ring later on in the game that allows you to, and it automatically increases your item discovery rate without humanity. So, really good place to go get your stuff if you need it. Now, I believe... Wait a minute, what was that? No, there's nothing. I'm seeing things. I'm paranoid down here. Alright. There is a weapon called the Great Club, which we are going to go get eventually. Oh, I don't believe it's around this side. It's on the right-hand side of this. There we go. I knew there was an item I missed. And is that a leech? Yes, it is. Is there anything over here? These leeches, by the way, you don't need to have a plus 10 weapon to be effective against them. They're quite weak. You can kill them pretty easily with just a plus 5 weapon. They don't have much in the way of HP. You just have to be familiar with their... Oh, the pyromancy set. I forgot that this was down here. That's kind of neat. You just have to be familiar with the layout of the land, which you can get after playing through it a couple of times. And as long as you're familiar and you bring a bow... And, you know, depending on what you want to do, you might want to farm purple moss clumps from the tree men in Darkroot Garden. That can be very helpful. I don't know if I want to come to this weapon from this direction, though. I'm not sure about if I want to do that. And if you're just using like a normal playthrough, it's not going to matter that much that you can get dozens of them. You just need 9 of them to get to plus 10. So, and they're actually, I think, we've picked up a couple off the floor already, so there are a couple on the ground here, and I know there's 2 more down by the boss door way over there. That's actually way over there on that mound with the spikes. That's the boss room door. And over there you can see these barbarians. Just barely. There are more giant barbarian guys, but they're holding gigantic rocks. They're holding boulders. And they're throwing them at you. I think I might want to go back. Since I'm right near the bonfire, large soul of a proud knight, several thousand souls, I might want to just pop back to the bonfire to restock my my Estus before continuing. There you go. You still alive, pal? Those rock-wielding barbarians can also drop a weapon, a pickaxe. And the pickaxe is not a terribly effective weapon, so I don't really bother with it too much. It's just kind of, it's just kind of meh. Oh, I'm actually going to get a little bit more. Dexterity. There we go. Okay. The running attack is amazing, that running slash. And it can kill them in one hit, which is really nice. Alright. Now, I don't know the best way to go over there, and I might need to suicide in order to get it, but I'm going to go over there and grab the Great Club. Because these guys are fairly tough, if I remember right. I think they can throw or roll their boulders, sort of like a dung beetle, I guess? And they just sort of appear magically. They have so much health. This is the Great Club. I'm just going to grab it. And, yeah, that's pretty much it, to be honest. Yeah, they're rolling it like a dung beetle. Look at that. It's so ridiculous. Ooh, got one. Good. Come on. No backstab? No backstab? Come on. Oh, fuck me. Oh, I think I made him do bleed damage, though. That's good. Ooh, I don't think I was hitting him. I think I was hitting the boulder, and it was not hitting him. Shit. Come on. One more. There you go. Come to daddy. You're going down. And a dung pie. These guys drop dung pies all the time. And there's just one more, I think one more item, a couple of large titanite shards that I need to get. And then we can go to the concluding little area, which is sort of a secret area back where the giant leeches are. Where are you? Come on. It's unconsciously doing that little weapon thing because of Demon Soul. But anyway, so you can get a bunch of large titanite shards, so really you can get to a +10 weapon very quickly in the game. Even though when I first played the game, that took an agonizing amount of time for me to figure that out because I had no idea how to beat the Capra Demon, no idea to get down there. It took forever for me to get to Blighttown. Everything was going wrong. But, really, you just need to know the game. Oh, and I got another humanity. Good. Now, there was one more thing in this area that is sort of a secret section. And it's just the entrance to an area that we are not actually going to go into. And that area is called the Great Hollow. It's a completely optional area. I would not recommend actually going into it at this point because it is very, very vertical. And you can actually get cursed while going into it, which is a very dangerous condition, especially if you are in the middle of Blighttown and you need to go all the way back from, the Great Hollow Bonfire all the way up to Firelink Shrine at half health. That would be very dangerous. We can get a plank shield here. This is the shield that Maneater Mildred was using. It's ridiculous looking. Where are you? It's just a bit of wood. Barely anything there at all. And it does have the fast parry shield speed, though. That's nice. And if you go over here, I don't know how you're supposed to figure this out without a message on the ground, which I don't remember if that was how I figured it out or if I looked it up online at this point, but if you roll here, there's a secret door. And not just yet. Let's go to this chest where we can get a twin humanity. But you can actually roll again through another secret door. And it's like, really? 2 secret doors right in a row? That's pretty crazy. Alrighty. And let's just head down here. And there is another bonfire right here. The Great Hollow Bonfire. If you're going to farm the leech guys, you should come from here and rest at this bonfire and then just go out. Because that'll prevent the mosquitoes from aggroing on you and the other fire-breathing guys. So you can just go straight through that without having to worry about that and just kill the leeches. I didn't do that this time because I wanted to show this to you. And so I just did it the long way around so I can show it to you here. A reason why you would want to come down here at the very beginning of the game as soon as you would start is this. There is a very, very useful item right down in here. I have to drop down to get it. So, I don't know, guys. I may not, again, you know the drill. I may have to just do this again. But you have to, there's a ring right down there. I don't think you can see it from here. There, you can see the light. And if you just fall down here and get very lucky, there we go. The Cloranthy ring. The Cloranthy ring is a great ring, one of the best in the game. And it does the same thing as the Cloranthy in Dark Souls 2. It boosts your endurance recovery speed. Your stamina will pop right back up if you have this on you. I don't believe there is an easy way to get back up to where we were going this way. So I am just going to pop back up there with a homeward bone and just about get ready to end the level. But first, I'm going to attempt... There he is. Do you see him? Oh, he spotted me. There was a crystal lizard right there. He spotted me. I had no chance. Never mind, though. This is the Great Hollow. Do not go down in there, because there is eventually a bonfire at the way bottom, but it's not useful for us to go down here right now. There are a couple of places to get titanite chunks, but we can't even use titanite chunks yet. So I think I'm going to end it here, and probably pick up in the next level where I will be doing the remainder, or most of the remainder, of Darkroot Basin and Garden. But until then, I'll see you later.